Now we're jumping into it. This is going to be a very, very short press conference by interim coach Chris Tabor. My name is Nick. This is Roll Coverage. Let's jump into it.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
We're jumping into it. This is Chris Tabor. It's a very short one, about a 5-minute press conference. I'm going to get you out of here nice and quick. Let's jump into it.
All right, I'll go ahead.
First of all, again, you come here for reactions, you come here for breakdowns, you come here for all that. You know what? That body language looks terrible. That looks terrible. And you know what? We're going to change. This ain't a reaction, bro. This is a breakdown. Don't know how to type, apparently. Breakdown. Man, look at that. That does not look like a happy man. Let's find out why.
And start off with the injuries. Employee 67 had a calf strain, did not return. Number 80, Ian Thomas, had an ankle, did not return. Those are the two injuries right there. Obviously I'm going to tip my hat to New Orleans. And we didn't play enough complimentary football today. Had our chances, did not capitalize. And then we shot ourselves in the foot and had catastrophic mistakes. So we have to regroup. We're going to regroup and come back. And with that, I'll answer any questions.
If you haven't checked out my video, thumbnail is Chris Tabor the snitch? This, and this is just me, I'm looking too much into this possibly, but that looks like a man that sold the owner on going behind Frank's back. And again, this is my tinfoil hat theory. We won't get this confirmed if it's ever confirmed, and if it's false, I'm sorry, Chris. This is just how the body language is coming off. That you thought that you'd be able to come in there with Scott Fitter and go behind Frank's back and get him kicked out. Evero turned down the job reportedly. Thomas Brown is apparently fired, according to his wife. So you were like, oh man, I'm going to come in there, I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to make Bryce look great. And you haven't changed a goddamn thing because you didn't acknowledge that it was the personnel problem and not a coaching problem. You would rather push somebody out of the building rather than just be like, hey man, the team is just not it. We just need to get another year, get another year under our belt, and then this time next year, Frank, Thomas, Evero, myself, and everybody will be able to push forwards. This looks like a guy that bit off more than he can chew, and now he's having to eat crow for it. Again, I might be looking too much into it. Just my thought.
Chris, what did you see on the Hecker fumble, I guess, slash block?
It was a block punt. Man didn't go out and block the guy he was supposed to. So that was that's a mistake that obviously cannot happen.
They ruled it.
Curious, if you know who that person is, drop it down below. I haven't watched the All-22 yet or anything. If anybody's going to do it, I know Cody Lack does it with C3 and all that. But yeah, I haven't watched the All-22. I can't even remember that play. I mean, obviously I remember the play. I remember everything that happened, but I can't remember who the blown block was. So if you know who it is, drop it in the comments down below.
As a fumble as opposed to a blocked punt.
It doesn't. To me, it's a block punt. It's a block punt. They scored off of it. So it's however people want to score it in fantasy football, it doesn't matter to me. We made a mistake, didn't do our job, and that hurt us there. I thought our defense played outstanding to keep us in things. And there in the fourth quarter, we have an opportunity to go down and tie, and we didn't get it done.
And again, this looks like the man, not sheltered, but the like kind of protecting himself, keeping it in. Normally he's in here cracking jokes and doing shit like that. This is the man. I'm telling you. I feel it in my bones. This is the man that it has to eat this crow for what the decisions that he made. Of course, there's a little bit of player personnel in there, but apparently coaching is the end all be all.
I mean, that sounds like the story of a lot of games this year. Why do you think that is?
Because we haven't won yet, and we need to figure out how to win. And that's what that.
Again, you're going to see me keep smiling because it's just so funny to see him completely change to go from this like happy, I'm going to crack a joke guy to all of a sudden think being a hard ass is going to solve something. That's not it. And that's exactly why he's going to be coaching someplace else next year unless the owner decides to keep him around.
That's what we got to get done. And you have to keep chopping wood and keep going.
Chopping wood again, man. That's his go-to.
In order to break through, it's just not going to magically happen for you. You gotta when your number's called, you gotta make a play, And you never know in this game when it's going to happen. So that's what took place there.
Do you think the playing, I'm not saying bench Bryce, but the playing in this circumstances right now with the way the Lions playing, that he's able to get anything out of what's going on out there right now?
Absolutely.
So again, the question was asked. I'm not sure if you heard it, but it's again very low. If Panthers AV Club or whoever the hell runs this can ever fix that, that would be amazing. But yeah, should we bench Bryce? No. Why would we bench him? If he was hurt, yeah, sure. If he's got a nagging ankle injury, sure, blow it out of proportion. Say it's something just where you have a reason to bench him, whatever. But that's only going to hurt him in the long run. Putting in a true backup in Andy Dalton at this point doesn't really do anything. And if Andy Dalton goes out there and wins 2 games, it's just going to hurt Bryce's confidence and it's going to hurt the public perception of Bryce. So I don't think that that's the way to go. I'd rather just trot him out there, try to protect him as best you can, even if you need to put out extra blockers, whatever you need to do. I don't care if you need to start playing with 15 men on the field. I still don't think that's enough to keep Bryce protected with this offensive line. So
absolutely, I think that he's going to continue to improve, and that doesn't concern me at all. We ran the ball for 200 yards today, so I know you're going right there at the line, but we ran the ball for 200 yards.
Yeah. Just because the clock, it says it's 2:00 doesn't mean the clock ain't broken, bro. They had a half decent day, and then you go look at some of those plays where they're literally, there's 3 defenders in the backfield before the offensive line damn near blinks. Like, miss me with this. This is coping. This is somebody that's told an owner that he could affect change, and now he can't. So now he's trying to cover his ass, and he's trying to be like a hard ass. That's what this is.
Somebody's blocking him.
You mentioned that stat running for that much. How frustrating is it to have that output and still have the outcome?
Everything's frustrating right now, if I can be completely honest. And
so you mean the shit when Frank Reich would show up to these press conferences and be like, man, we're here, we just got to keep executing and everything like that, and everybody roasted him, and now people are going to be like, start roasting him for this, man? Like, yeah, it's fucking hard. You're the head coach of a football team. Like, you go through trials, adversity, everything. You work your ass off to get to this point. And of course, Mr. Tabor has been working his craft for a long time. But to think that you could just immediately turn this team around because a coaching change happened was false. The Wilkes thing is something completely separate. I think Wilkes was good. I think that the offense, especially the offensive line, all of that was ready to win. We just weren't ready to commit to a full power run offense at that time. This isn't that team anymore. Yes, we can run the ball for 200 yards, but we just lost by, 20-something? 20, 22 or something like that? Like, come on. Pretty sure it was 28-6, but yeah, like it blows my mind, man. It blows my mind.
As I said, you can handle how are you going to handle it? And
you handle it by going up there and getting all angry rather than being your normal, calm, collected, happy self. So this tells me whatever's happening is getting to you, and this tells me that it wasn't Frank's fault. Period.
This is tough after this loss. But we got to keep going.
Chris, the passing game has been criticized for not taking enough shots. You guys came out clearly with a plan to be aggressive.
We took shots today.
Yeah, on 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, that kind of shit. Like, come on.
I think we took a lot of shots, and we didn't. Obviously, we didn't connect on enough that we wanted, and then we didn't get. Unfortunately, we didn't get any PI calls or anything along those lines. It's a good secondary. It's a really good
PI calls?
secondary. But we had chances there, and we didn't capitalize. So that's we're going to continue to work at getting that better.
Chris, why is the passing game such a struggle?
Well, I don't know that answer.
A head coach and you don't know that answer. I hope that the Twitter fan base tears you apart, because if Frank would have gone up there and be like, don't get me wrong, he definitely had that blunder where he's like, oh, I didn't even know TMJ was available. But this is ridiculous. You're supposed to be the bridge. You're supposed to be the one to fix things, and you're not able to do any of that because it was never about coaching. It was always about personnel, which is the GM and owner's fault.
I mean, we're because if we had the answer, we would already fixed it. I think it's just something that we got to continue to work on. And when you pitch and catch, we got to pitch and catch. Had opportunities, and You know, whether a guy's open or not, put it on him. Guy's open, catch the ball. There's a lot of things. It's just like, you know, in my world, I'm supposed to block this guy, block this guy. You know, everyone has a job and a responsibility. We just need guys that continue to work hard to do their job.
You seem like you a little frustrated. You said everybody's frustrated. It seems like you're very.
I don't like to lose. I don't care what the circumstances are. I don't like to lose.
It's fair. But this is a completely different person. If this is the person behind the scenes that Dave or Tabor wanted, then go hire Bobby Knight. Let him throw chairs. That's going to solve things, apparently. But this is not the person to solve it, period.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
By the way, that total press conference, my timestamp says 4:01. So you're telling me the post-game press conference for the head coach of 18 was 4 minutes long? I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. This organization is being run by a wannabe monopoly man in Tepper. Fitterer is the worst GM in football, and it is going to continue to get worse for Bryce Young as long as Tepper and Fitterer are working together. I'm going to keep pounding that drum, keep pounding the drum that this man was the man, the offensive coach. Because again, if they would have said special team coach, if that article by Diana Rossini and Joe Person had said a special team coach with the GM went to go do that, there's only a few of them. There's a pretty decent amount of people on the offensive side of the ball, meaning coach-wise. So I think it was something just to throw it off. Regardless, this is Roll Coverage. My name is Nick. You have a good rest of the day, and just think about it. Is he really the right answer, or did we cut Frank too early? I definitely think Frank should have gotten the axe, but could have done it in the offseason.